The mayor of Philadelphia asked Eagles fans to please don't climb on anything. A zoo offers to send a video of an elephant pooping to your ex for Valentine's Day. And a man was convicted of drunk driving a drone in the first case of its kind. These are the weird stories for Weird AF News, the only daily weird news podcast. Would you please not climb on stuff? Asks the mayor of Philadelphia ahead of the Super Bowl, but didn't quite work out that way because this is Philadelphia and the fans in Philly are going to Philly. We have here days before the Super Bowl, the Philadelphia mayor sought to dissuade celebrating Eagles fans from climbing onto light poles or onto other equipment and onto public buildings. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the history of these Philadelphia fans. They invented the whole throw batteries at professional ball players on the field. I mean, this is what you're dealing with Philly sports fans. They're out of their minds, in other words. And sadly, a Temple College student fell off a lamppost in 2018. He fell right on his head and sadly perished after that Super Bowl. And so the mayor wanted to avoid such things. You know, the problem is you can't really ask Philadelphia fans to do anything. They're just going to do what they want to do. I'm wondering why she didn't just have all the poles greased. I think at one point they had the poles greased a few years ago for some event so that people couldn't climb up it. They would just slide down. It's hilarious that you would have to do that to keep adults from climbing up light posts. But yeah. So we have the Philadelphia mayor. Her name is Cheryl Parker. I've never heard of Cheryl Parker. This is the first for me. She's quoted as saying, Please, Philadelphia, I implore you as your mayor, do not climb light poles or anything of the kind, please. I know this comes up every time we have an outdoor celebration after our teams win, and I get it. But folks, climbing or attempting to climb up a light pole or a bus shelter or really any structure for that matter, it can lead to tragedies. But, Mayor, can we still flip cars and light fires? Yes, you can still flip cars and light fires, of course. I don't want you to not celebrate at all in our beautiful city. So, following last night's victory, did this message work? It absolutely did not work. It kind of worked in that instead of climbing lampposts, I saw that they ripped one down and carried it around like a giant spear. I think the mayor should have pitched a much more attainable goal. Hey, everyone, please don't light a public bus on fire. If you could just not do that. There were about 50 arrests in the city of Philadelphia for various indiscretions, including a stabbing and 2 shootings. So this is how it went down. Stores were broken into and looted. Well, some of you are probably like, didn't they win? Yes, the Eagles won. But this is Philadelphia. This is what happens. Win or lose, they just tear up the city. I mean, I can't speak too harshly of these fans because we did this in Boston as well. So, you know, we're a fandom that, you know, also suffers from brain damage as well. So, I guess Boston fans like me, we're out of our minds too. I sort of understand the Philadelphia fan mindset because of that. Philly fans in general, though, do take it to an entirely different psychotic level. You may recall following the 2018 Super Bowl where an Eagles fan ate horse poop on video. I've watched that video before, and I still can't understand it, to be honest with you. I guess when lighting fires gets dull, you eat animal excrement to prove your fandom. You guys might be wondering, Jonesy, don't you have a solution to this situation, being that you're a huge sports fan, but also you really have a grip on human nature? Oh, yes, thank you very much. I do fancy myself as someone who's studied human nature pretty intricately via this podcast for 7 years. How many years have we been doing this, guys? Okay, here's what you do. If your team is involved in a high-stakes game, you provide outlets for the rage and excitement that's going to follow. And how do you do that? Well, first of all, you put punching bags everywhere. You hang the punching bags from the light posts, right, so that they have something to strike. And then you provide bouncy castles everywhere as well, so they can bounce out their rage. A bouncy castle is great. You can bounce off the walls. You can get it out on the bouncy castle, and then you can just get right down and start hitting the punching bags as well. And that's how you get it out. And then you can save on public infrastructure because they won't be tearing down buildings and light posts. And I heard last night they destroyed 4 sanitation trucks in Philly. That's a weird thing to do. I don't know why you would destroy sanitation trucks, but in order to prevent this sort of thing, you have to give them something else that they can destroy or take it out on. Oh, and I forgot to add, on the punching bags, you can put the faces of the opposing team's players on there. So, in Philly last night, you could have had Travis Kelce's face and Pat Mahomes' face on various punching bags throughout the city. This is just a brilliant solution. I don't know why anyone hasn't come up with this. Instead, the mayor of Philly goes, "Stop climbing things, everyone," which, of course, makes Philly want to climb even harder. So, not smart. A zoo offers to send a video of an elephant pooping to your ex for Valentine's Day. Adorable. The Memphis, Tennessee Zoo is offering a very fun and exciting Valentine's Day promotion where for only $10, just $10, you can send a video of an elephant pooping. That's right, an elephant pooping, or as this article describes it, a video of an elephant, quote, curling one out to your ex, which is just a graphic way to describe it. Curling one out, gross. Okay, and if that's not your thing, there's a second boring option. They have a video option, a panda eating a grape. I don't know what the significance of that is. That actually sounds like a really cute video option, to be honest. Probably not send that to your ex. Send that to someone that you give a damn about. Very cute video. If we're being honest, I think an elephant pooping is a kind of a cute video as well. I don't know how that's insulting. Like, what if I want an elephant pooping video just for myself and to put on Instagram? Can I just do that? According to their website, they say, got an ex that deserves a stinking surprise? This Valentine's, let an elephant do the talking. Or maybe you found the one and want to send them something adorable. Our red pandas have you covered. Oh, yeah, okay, so the panda eating the grape is for someone you care about. The elephant pooping is for someone that you don't care about, apparently. Because nothing says, hey, I'm over you, than a video of a very large animal defecating, I suppose. There's some rationale in that. I don't know. But the video is only $10, and your participation supports the care and the conservation of over 3,500 animals at the Memphis Zoo, so it's a good cause. The website says last names will remain confidential and are for order purposes only. The animals are ready. Are you? The animals are ready to poop or eat a grape. Are you? It seems like every Valentine's Day I cover a story about how some zoo or animal shelter is doing some quirky thing that you can pay for to get back at your ex. That hasn't changed this year. The San Antonio Zoo, you can pay to have a roach or a rodent named for your ex and then fed to a larger animal such as a snake, porcupine, or kangaroo. The rodents are pre-frozen, in case you're wondering. Also, an animal shelter in Connecticut, for a fee, will name one of their cats after your ex and then have them neutered. I thought that was a very strange one. And then the Columbus Zoo and Aquarium in Ohio, for a fee, will name a superworm after your ex and then feed it to a sloth bear on video. Now, I don't know what a superworm is, and I'm really not sure what a sloth bear is. That sounds like a good one, though. I found a website where they cover like 8 to 10 of these services for this Valentine's Day. I'll put a link to it in the Patreon for those of you in the Patreon. But yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff you can do this Valentine's Day to your ex for a minimal fee, and it goes to a good cause, and it's kind of funny, so I do support it. It's weird and funny, so what's there not to enjoy about it? Although I do suppose there's some sort of like cockroach support groups out there that are anti-feeding cockroaches to snakes on camera for a fee. The exploitation of the cockroaches is it's probably a cause going on out there, or at least a subreddit. Mothers against, okay, I got it. Mothers against senseless cockroach assault on Valentine's, also known as Maskaov. Come on, guys. I'm very hungover, but I'm doing it today.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Let's rock.
A man has been arrested for drunk droning in the first case of its kind. The story is out of Sweden. A man has been convicted for drunk driving a drone in what is thought to be the first case. 55-year-old man found guilty of flying a drone while intoxicated, drunk droning, or DUI, droning under the influence. My question is, how do you tell the difference between somebody who's drunk droning or sober droning but just is terrible at flying a drone? How do you tell that apart? Okay, well, maybe we'll learn by reading this article out of Sweden. This guy was flying a drone at an event called Classic Car Week in Ratvik. There's two dots over the A. What do I do with that? Anyone know what you do with the two dots over the A? Ratvik. It's a town in Dalarna, central Sweden. They say that it was a temporary no-fly zone at the time. Police came across the drone when they were flying their own drone to monitor the event. Hey, whose drone is this? Wait a minute. We got our drone, not our drone. Hey, whose drone is this? It says here, when the police found the spot where the drone was being controlled from, they found a man. They found a man with a blood alcohol content of 0.69 parts alcohol per 1,000 parts blood. He admitted to flying the drone, this man of a blood alcohol content of 0.69 parts per alcohol per 1,000 parts blood. It must be against the law to fly your drone with a blood alcohol content of 0.69 parts alcohol per 1,000 parts of blood. I had no idea, but now we know. It's good. We should all know what the level is. I can't tell. Is that high or low? Well, I did a quick little Google, and it says in the United States, it's illegal to drive a vehicle with a blood alcohol concentration of 0.08% or higher in all states except Utah, where it's 0.05%. Oh, yeah, Utah. Can't have fun in Utah. Someone told me in Utah they sell beer with like a really low percent. Like it'll be a regular Budweiser, but in the rest of the country, the percent alcohol in the Budweiser, let's say, is 5.6% or whatever. But in Utah, it'll be like 3.5% or something. That could be a rumor, but that's what I was told. Now, it says in Sweden they're a little strict compared with other parts of Europe when it comes to drunk driving. Under Swedish law, anything above 0.2 parts alcohol per 1,000 parts blood is punishable, and 1.0 is a serious offense. Drunk driving laws are relatively strict in Sweden compared with other parts of Europe. In the UK, the limit is 0.8, and in Spain, France, and Belgium, it is 0.5. In Romania and Hungary, it is 0. It's non-existent. Can anyone confirm in Romania or Hungary that it's non-existent? You can, or it's just anything over 0, you're done. So if you just happen to have some cough syrup and then get behind the wheel, you're done. And I can't make neither heads nor tails. Neither head nor tails. How do you say it? I can't make out heads nor tails on what if this is high or low. These numbers, I'm very confused by them. But this man in the story claimed he did not fly the drone under the influence. He blamed a friend who was not present when the police arrived. Blamed his friend for what? Flying. What did he? Someone just my friend ran over here and handed me the drone controller. I don't know. I wasn't flying it. I'm just holding on to it for him. Is this guy throwing his friend under the bus? What is going on here? It says he was fined 32,000 SEK to be paid across 80 days and daily fines of 400 SEK. Is that how the police collect? They just show up at your house every day. Give us our 400 SEK. SEK, what is that? You know, it's the Swedish currency. But I don't know what SEK stands for. Never mind, just hand me your doubloons. Now, the article goes on to say this is the first case in which a person has been prosecuted and convicted of drunkenness while flying a drone. Now, I went and looked up, as far as in the U.S., do they have some sort of statute against flying your drone under the influence? And there is not a specific one, but according to the FAA, no one operating in any unmanned aircraft should endanger the safety of the national airspace system while doing so. And so drunk droning could be considered to be endangering the national airspace, and that's how they can get you. That's how they get you. I don't know if you guys saw that moron who flew a drone out in Los Angeles during the fires, and he ran it right into one of those rescue planes. It was a plane that drops off the pink powder or the water to put up fires. He ran his drone into it and actually did some damage to the plane, and they couldn't use it, like this idiot. You do have dumb with drones. That's a problem. You have drunk droning, and then you have dumb droning. There's way more dumb droning, I think, going on than drunk droning. And yeah, we need rules against this because a lot of idiots are getting drones, and they're doing foolish things with them. Drunk droning being the least of them. You know, they're flying these things into helicopters and passing aircrafts, and they're slamming them into the foreheads of extremely tall individuals while they're on a walk. I don't know if they're doing that, but it could happen. Watch out, tall people.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever find yourself playing the budgeting game? Well, with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive, you can find options that fit your budget and potentially lower your bills. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
Your news is lifting me higher than I've ever been lifted before. So keep it weird and quench my weird desire, and I'll be at your side forevermore. Sing it with me, guys. Your news. I made it, guys. I made it through the episode. It's hella hungover, messy Super Bowl last night, and partying. I'm going to share what I did. I went to a house party, which is where I prefer to be watching the Super Bowl. And because, the food and everything, it's just great. And I had earlier in the day watched the tutorial on how to make whiskey sours. And so I got a bottle of bourbon, Bullet, good brand, Bullet bourbon, and brought it to the party with some lemons. And I proceeded to make myself 6 whiskey sours. And everybody looked at me strangely because there was 2 kegs, and most people were drinking beer. But and then here I am making myself these whiskey sours, and I was drinking them out of a very fancy glass as well that I found at their bar that they had. And so here I am drinking my fancy whiskey sours, and I have to say by the 5th one, I had it down. I was making them great, very frothy. Oh, by the way, they had eggs here. I used egg whites. I found they had eggs in their fridge. These were rich, wealthy people, obviously, that they had eggs right now in 2025. But yeah, I only used 2 eggs the whole night. I mean, I kept it, frugal. I don't know, what's that, $1,000 for 2 eggs? Anyways, a lot of whiskey sours, and didn't enjoy the Super Bowl that much, which is why I went heavy on the whiskey sours. I think. Yeah, it was so dull. I was like, I want a competitive game. I mean, I had no dog in the fight. I just want a competitive game. That's what I want. Anyways, I hope you had a better time. And if you're an Eagles fan, congratulations. I can speak to what it's like for your, that feeling you get when your team is awesome, because that's happened to me many times. So it's a good feeling when your team is the best. So, all right, I want to give a shout out right now. Shout outs are in order. Just to one person, Darius Savage, who runs a juicery. All right. I don't know if you remember, I mentioned Darius bought me some coffee. And then Darius apparently plays my podcast in his juicery. It's called Salute Juicery. You can go to salutejuicery.com and check it out. Now, he's got a location in Bridgeville, Pennsylvania, and opening another one in his hometown of Wheeling, West Virginia this spring or summer. So I said, hey, if your business plays my podcast in your store or in your business, whatever it is, I'll give you a shout out on the show. I'll tell everybody, go to Salute Juicery. If you happen to be in PA, if you happen to be over near Bridgeville, PA, go check out Darius at his juicery, Salute Juicery. And while you're there, please enjoy the lovely podcast that's being played. There's a comedian in a closet trying to make your life better while you're in there drinking your kale. Anyway, salutejuicery.com. Not an official sponsor of Weird AF News, but they're Darius being a big fan. Hey, I'm giving my shout outs here. So check them out. And maybe one day I'll visit you at your Bridgeville, PA location. Because I wouldn't be caught dead in West Virginia. I'm so sorry. I've been there before. I don't need to go back. You know the vibes. Anyways, if you want to support the show, go to my website, weirdafnews.com, and you can buy me a coffee like Darius did. And you can write me a note when you buy me a coffee. You could tell me how sexy my voice is or how it grinds in your ears and you have nightmares of my voice. It's all gravy, baby. It's all gravy. Good luck with your life, man.